Hey, so like many of you out there, like many people in the world, I love the Marvel movies. I loved all of them. They were all, I'd say every single one up till 2018 was solid in my opinion. They were all great. And there was a character that stood out to me a lot. A character who I really connected with. A character I really liked. And that character was Loki. From the second I watched Thor 1, Loki was awesome. Loki was my favorite character. Thor 2, The Dark World, a lot of people hate it. A lot of people say it's a bad movie. I would please ask you to compare that watch that movie, Thor: The Dark World, then watch any other Marvel movie besides Spider-Man that came out after 2018, and do a little comparison, okay? And just see what kind of decision making you come to after that. And in those Thor movies, Loki is such a fun, engaging, charismatic character. Great performance by Tom Hiddleston. A fantastic character. A fantastic performance. Who really levels up and just makes a movie so much more enjoyable to watch. And then Avengers 1, 2012, based, after the first Thor movie, we have Loki as the main villain. A movie where you could even say that it's almost Loki's movie as much as it's the Avengers movie. A movie where Loki has the spotlight on him. Loki's built up. He's this big threat. He's coming in and we've got like these signs of showing that he's working for someone who later, learned to be Thanos and such. But it's Loki, and he's the threat, and he's the person who everyone else is struggling to figure out how they're going to defend against him. And he performs wonderfully. He's a fantastic villain. He's a fantastic character. He's a fantastic antagonist. He's not a protagonist. He's not an Avenger. He's an antagonist. He's the enemy, and that's where he shines. And so throughout the years, I always wanted to see a Loki movie or a Loki show, or something that's just about Loki, where Loki's the main focus. I've wanted that probably ever since I watched the first Thor movie. I wanted a solo Loki thing. Like, he has a great dynamic with Thor, but I would have loved to see a movie where he is the center. And then he died in Infinity War. I was like, oh, well, I mean, he had an awesome character arc, but he's dead, and so it's a bit sad. I'm not going to get to see a Loki movie or show now because, he's dead. I'm really sad. It's pretty awful. I mean, now I wish he'd stayed dead, but retrospectively, I was just like, oh no. But then Endgame happened, and we see Loki teleport away, the variant of Loki in the other universe, and then there's the announcement there's going to be a show about Loki. So I'm like, yes, it finally happened. Tom Hiddleston, Loki show. Owen Wilson's going to be in it. That's cool. It's happening. But then episode 1 comes out of season 1 a few years ago, 2022, 2020, whenever it came out. And I was like, oh, Loki has just been punched, and we're showing slow motion of, haha, funny, Loki just got punched and now he's slow motion being hit. And then we're going through, and Loki, as the season goes on, he's not acting like Loki. He's not acting like the Loki he would be, fresh off 2012 Avengers. He's not acting like Loki at all. And he's not even very prominent in the show. And then, the show just left me with a bad taste in my mouth. That just left me. This wasn't a Loki show. We didn't get 6 episodes of a Loki. We got 6 episodes of Tom Hiddleston playing some other character. And it was just really sad. And now season 2's out, and I watched episode 1, not through Disney Plus, but through another method. And it was the same thing as season 1. I didn't expect it to improve. I had no expectations. I just watched it because I'd had time, so I watched it. I'm not going to watch episode 2 or the rest of it. And because it was nothing. It wasn't Loki. It was Tom Hiddleston playing a character with Owen Wilson was there, and there's nothing particularly intriguing about it. It wasn't Loki. It's so annoying. Because we have Tom Hiddleston, we have the actor for Loki, and we have the willingness and the capabilities, all this money, all this talent. I mean talent acting-wise, obviously not the writers and directors, because they obviously don't have any. But we have all this capability and all these resources to make a Loki show. to make a really good Loki show. You could make a really good Loki show with the premise that we have here, like a time-traveling Loki, like almost like reminiscent of Doctor Who, which works really good. Tom Hiddleston always like reminds me of, like, I could see Tom Hiddleston playing Doctor Who. It could be really good. It could have awesome writing, could have solid characters, and Tom Hiddleston could be the main character as Loki, playing I am burdened with glorious purpose. I'm above everyone else. I have this deep-rooted, I have this arrogance, I have this persona, this charisma coming off me, that I am the character of Loki. But no, we didn't get that, and it's really annoying, and it's messed up, and it's not right, because maybe multiverse is a universe out there where we did get a really good Loki show. And it's not fair that we don't get to live in the universe where we get the good Loki show, because a good Loki show would be so awesome. Like, imagine if Avengers Infinity War, imagine if we just didn't get that. Imagine all the stuff we could be getting with all these new Marvel movies that we're missing out on. It could be Avengers Infinity War and all those good movies all over again, but we're just not getting them. We're never going to see a movie like any of those movies before 2018. We're never going to see those again. Well, I don't think so. I mean, we did with Spider-Man, but that was Sony, not Marvel. We're not going to get another Avengers movie that's good. We're not going to get another Captain America movie, or another Thor movie, or another any movie. Thor 4 was a disgusting disaster. It was gross. Doctor Strange 2 was abysmal. Doctor Strange 2 was awful. What was worse, Thor? I care more about Thor than I do about Doctor Strange, character-wise, so I guess that's why I would say that Thor 4 is worse than Doctor Strange 2, but in my opinion, writing-wise, to the same level as bad. I just care more about Thor, so it hurts more to see him destroyed than Doctor Strange, It's still awful, but what hurts more than both Thor and Doctor Strange combined? Loki, because he's who I cared about the most, and he's who was just destroyed. It's not for me, because I don't associate the Loki show as having anything to do with the Loki, so I can go back and I can watch the Thor movies and Avengers 1 and Infinity War and just know that Loki died in Infinity War. There's no other Loki. The Loki show doesn't exist. It's not about Loki. It's just some pathetic garbage, which is really sad.